Hello there, Talkin fight fans around the world. Thank you for joining me once again here for another episode on boxing news today, courtesy of our friends across the pond at boxing247.com. We're going to start off with a little story out of England because this Saturday evening we're going to see Joe Joyce go toe-to-toe against Christian Hammer, and that is indeed going to be one heck of a battle. Joe Joyce has a lot to prove. He injured his hand, as we all know, last year. He was about to go to toe-to-toe with Joseph Parker. That fell apart. So now he's going up against a very experienced fighter, Christian Hammer. When I say experienced, let me just read off some of these names because I wasn't that familiar with Christian Hammer's background. But let's have a quick look. He has taken on all comers across his near 14-year career, and names such as Tyson Fury, David Price, Alexander Povetkin, Luis Ortiz, Tony Yoka, Hugh Fury. So this guy has a background. It's going to be a good fight with Joe Joyce, and I know Joe Joyce has some plans, and Frank Warren has some plans for Joe Joyce moving to unclog that heavyweight division, but that remains to be seen. He has to get through Christian Hammer first. Also on that bill, taking place July 2nd at OVO Arena, we're going to see European champion Jason Cunningham and two-weight world champion Zolini Tete go toe-to-toe. Callum Johnson fights Igor Mikhailkin for the WBC silver light heavyweight title. And Nathan Heaney will make a defense of his IBO International Middleweight Championship. As we all know, due to a hand injury, Sam Noakes is backed out. He can't defend his WBC International silver lightweight title as expected. So Mark Vidal, his scheduled opponent, will now face Mark Chamberlain with the IBF European title on the line. And this represents the first title tilt for that 10-0 Chamberlain and his first fight over 10 rounds. Also on the bill, we're looking forward to seeing super featherweight newcomer Royston Barney Smith. But he's been replaced on the card by 6-0 welterweight Mickey Burke Jr. Wycombe super lightweight Henry Turner is fighting over 6 rounds. At Thetford cruiserweight, Tommy Fletcher will make his professional debut in a 4-round fight, having recently signed to Frank Warren and Queensbury. So it's going to be a good fight. Something to look forward to this weekend. Maybe some new champions coming out of that tilt. We'll wait and see. Yes, King's Promotions, a company out of Pennsylvania, is pleased and excited to announce the addition of International Boxing Hall of Famer, trailblazer, and boxing icon Christy Martin as their new Director of Operations. So, Christy Martin, we all know, has had a tremendous background in boxing and was indeed a trailblazer on many levels for women. She also, quite frankly, has her own roster. But now she'll be lined up with King's Promotions, being able to promote champions such as Alicia Baumgartner, Danielle Perkins, and undefeated flyweight Leanna Cruz. So let's have a quick read of and see what she has to say. I'm honored to work with King's Promotions, a great opportunity for me and some of the fighters I've been working with. My company, Christy Martin Promotions, will sit idle as I am 100% on board with King's Promotions. King's Promotions, by the way, is run and owned by Marshall Kaufman. And she says, Marshall is one of the few promoters that gives female fighters a platform. Hopefully my presence will help inspire not only the great fighters like Alicia, Daniel, and Leanna, but all fighters under the King's banner. I've had the ups and downs in my career and my personal life, so I feel I can mentor these young athletes. I've always wanted to stay involved with the sport, and now I can join Kings and do all at a higher level. In the process, I can take some load off from Marshall and be his right hand. Fair enough. The first superstar of female boxing, Martin, was a 2020 inductee into the International Boxing Hall of Fame. But due to the COVID-19 pandemic, she was enshrined in 2022. She also has an outstanding book on sale currently, which was co-written by renowned writer Ron Borges. It's called Fighting for survival, my journey through boxing fame, abuse, murder, and resurrection. And it is quite a story indeed. So congratulations to Christy, and let's see what King's Promotions has in store in the future without a doubt. Let's have a look, see what's next. Speaking of female fighters, out of Montreal, we're going to see on July 29th, Yesenia Gomez go toe-to-toe against Kim Clavel. World Boxing Council #1 contender Kim Clavel, who's 15-0 with 3 knockouts, will finally face WBC flyweight world champion Yesenia Gomez, who will defend her world title belt for the 5th time, as I said, on Friday, July 29th at the Cabaret of Montreal Casino, headlining a show called Irresistibles. And this is co-promoted by Vivon Michel, that's GYM, along with Pro Bellum, and presented by Miso Zhu. So good for them. They've got a good sponsor on board. Gomez versus Clavel has been postponed 3 times, which has naturally increased tensions between the 2 fighters based on their social media posts. The fight was always considered potentially spectacular and intense, but now their emotions are peaking, with both accusing the other for having delayed the confrontation. Fair enough. Also on that bill, by the way, we have Artur the Chechen Wolf Bayashlanov, who's 10-0 with 8 knockouts. He'll be showcased in the co-featured event. A 2015 Pan American Games gold medalist in Toronto, as well as a Canadian representative at 2016 Olympic Games Rio. Bayashlanov plans to add a 3rd consecutive knockout to his record against Burkina Faso native Issouf Kinda, fighting out of the Bronx nowadays. Another female fighter out of Montreal. Montreal favorite Caroline Vevre will make her long-anticipated professional debut after her remarkable amateur career. A pillar of the Canadian boxing team since 2013, Caroline captured gold at the 2015 Pan American Games, and she has represented Canada at 2020 Tokyo. Vevre has everything to become a big star of the international pro boxing circuit, without a doubt. Irresistibles will also be an opportunity to appreciate several young and talented boxers who represent the future Canadian boxing, by the way. It goes on to announce looks like, kickboxing superstar Jonathan DeBella will be in his 2nd pro boxing match against Mexican Jesus Velquez. Gifted Eric Bazran out of Vancouver will meet Mexican challenger Juan Garcia. And young Montrealer Derek Pomelo will be fighting for his 3rd straight knockout versus his Mexican opponent, Marcos Luna. Good stuff. So great to see some fighting going on in Montreal on July 29th. Peter McGrail is set to fight in July as well. He's going to make an appearance at the Stadium of Light in Sunderland, England on the 17th of July. His opponent is to be announced yet, but Peter McGrail aims to pick an army of new fans as he fights in Sunderland next month before a potential homecoming title shot. The brilliant Liverpool puncher has a 5th professional fight at the Stadium of Light on Sunday, July 17th, as part of a Phil Jeffries promotion. If you want to read more about Peter McGrail and Phil Jeffries, just go to boxing247.com. There's a bigger story there. Josh Kelly and Aaron Chalmers return to Newcastle for their fight on July 30th. Josh Kelly, who's 11-1-1 with 7 knockouts, and Aaron Chalmers, who's 1-0, are set to shine as the Wasserman Boxing heads to Virtu Motors Arena in Newcastle for a massive night of free-to-air boxing on Saturday, July 30th, and that'll be shown live on Channel 5 in the UK in association with William Hill Newman and Infinitum Entertainment. After a slick stoppage win over Peter Kramer, watched by over 1 million viewers on Channel 5, Sunderland boxer Kelly continues his world title pursuit as he leads the lineup of showcase talent and some of the Northeast's brightest boxing prospects. Following a long period out, the elation was clear for Kelly as he impressed on his terrestrial television debut, making light work of his Hungarian opponent at the M&S Bank Arena back in Liverpool. Okay. He says, "It was great to be back doing what I love again. I was happy to be able to show my power, precision with a strong, tough, durable 154-pound opponent. Both super welterweight and welterweight divisions now on notice as PBK rebuilds momentum towards the top with his sights set on big fights at either weight, starting with a Northeast homecoming in Newcastle." Good stuff. All right. It's courtesy of our friends at Wasserman. All right. On to Pico Rivera. This is in California, where we're going to see Nathan Rodriguez battle someone to be named later. Though super bantamweight prospect Nathan Rodriguez has developed an undefeated record of 7 wins with 6 knockouts. All of those victories have been on international territory. That'll changes on Saturday, August 27th, when he makes his United States debut in the main event of a Marv Nation Promotions card that will be hosted by the city of Pico Rivera. The fight, which will headline a full card of action, will be streamed live on Marv Nation's official YouTube channel. Rodriguez, who turns 18 in August, by the way, made his professional debut at only 16 years of age back in January 2021. Since then, he has fought 5 times in Costa Rica and 2 times in Mexico. The 122-pound prodigy is ready to show his hometown fans the progress he's made since taking the leap into the professional ranks. And here's a quote from Marvin Rodriguez. He's the CEO and founder of Marv Nation Promotions, by the way. There are a lot of people who've been looking forward to this because they've been following Nathan since he started his career. They know how talented he is and how much potential he has. I'm delighted to have the city of Pico Rivera involved in presenting the event. It's an honor for them to show so much support to Nathan, and we plan on making sure that we do not disappoint on August 27th. Ooh, all righty. Speaking of big fights upcoming, here we go. We're going to see Naoya Inoue, who said he's prepared to come to the UK. For us, that would be go to the UK and fight Paul Butler for the undisputed bantamweight title. Butler last week said that if Inoue wanted to fight enough, then he should be willing to accept a showdown taking place outside of his native Japan. The WBO champion told TalkSport that Liverpool or London could be ideal venues for a fight with Inoue, and that the contest should not automatically be in Monster's backyard. And now Inoue, who added the WBC belt to his collection after stopping on Rio de Janeiro earlier this month, said he would accept a fight in the UK. I don't have a preference, Inoue said. I don't care if we fight Japan, US, or UK. I just want to fight him, no matter where it is. Butler, by the way, won the WBO crown at Probellum Liverpool in April before being upgraded to full champion the following month. The British fighter has made it crystal clear that he wants to face Inoue next and isn't fearful of his punching power. He said, my gym is still in negotiations over the Butler fight, and things are moving in the right direction, although I don't think the details have been worked out, Inoue said in a press conference over in Tokyo back on Monday. I haven't watched his bouts in their entirety, but I can see he's talented and an aggressive boxer. So let's look forward to see if that will happen. I'm sure it will happen. Anyway, obviously doesn't care if he fights in Japan or the UK or the US, as he said. All right, let's move on to Jesse Rodriguez. He signed a long-term promotional deal with Eddie and Matchroom, and this follows all the heels of his devastating defeat over Srisaket Sor Rungvisai over the weekend in San Antonio. Now the 22-year-old has put pen to paper and entered into a long-term agreement with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. The 22-year-old phenom was crowned the youngest world champion in the sport in February when he landed the WBC strap as a late replacement in San Diego against Mexican King Carlos Cuadras, and fighting at home for the first time in 4 years. And that victory, coupled with his destruction of Thai legend Rungvisai, puts Bam firmly in the early discussion for Fighter of the Year. It's a bit early. And he's ready to push on and collect more titles in the second half of the year. He said, I'm delighted to sign with Eddie and Matchroom and so excited for the future. Last night was the best night of my career so far, beating a great fighter like Rungvisai in my hometown, but it's only the beginning. There's so much more I can achieve. Yes. I was so happy because there were a lot of people doubting me before last night, saying I shouldn't be at 115 pounds and that Rungvisai was going to knock me out. So for me to stop him, that's a big statement. He has boxed the very best at super flyweight, and he's not been stopped since his first 2 fights. So that says a lot about me. I knew I could stop him. I said so in the build-up, and so to do it, I'm very happy. He packs a punch. I knew that, and I feel it, and I was so glad to get him out of there. We will talk as a team, but I want to keep coming home to San Antonio. I hope everyone that came enjoyed the show. It means everything to me for my city to show out. The plan has been to go to 112 pounds and win a title there, but I'm open to fighting anyone. I want to keep improving and fighting the best. Every fighter wants to be on that pound for pound list, and you get there by fighting the best and beating them. Yes, you are right, sir. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of this show. I hope you appreciate it. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I'll join Mike Orr and Cedric Ben at 4 p.m. Eastern Time for their show, Knuckle Up. See you then.